Alright guys, I wanted to make this little car vlog to introduce you to my 2015 contest prep. It sucks that I'm starting my journey right now as far as like videoing it, because I started prep back in mid-November and right now we're closing at the end of January. So you guys really haven't been able to see, you're not going to really see, I'll have pictures up from earlier on in prep, but you're not going to really be able to see videos of me training and what I was doing during those first 10 weeks of prep. I've been prepping for about 10.5 weeks now. I got 9.5 weeks to go. Show date is April 11th. Woke up this morning to a new low of 167.8 pounds. Started prep at about 180 back in November. So since you guys don't really know me, for people that don't really know me, I'll kind of give you guys a quick, brief rundown of my life up until now, as far as like fitness is gone. I started out when I was about 15, 16 years old, you know, really wanting abs like everybody else does, not really having a muscular base, and really not knowing how to train, so I didn't even do weight training really. It was just a lot of calisthenics. I joined the track team. Got into a lot of running. That became quickly distance running because that was, you know, distance running, you're burning a lot of calories. So, and I was trying to lose weight. Didn't know how to diet, so I was doing basically the 6 meals a day bro diet kind of thing. Probably eating around 2,000, 2,500 calories, but also exercising a lot. So I was dropping weight pretty fast. I was about 200 pounds freshman year of high school. And by the senior year of high school, it was about 130, 135. No, I was about 140 pounds. It wasn't until after high school that I got down to about 130 pounds. I was captain of my cross-country team in high school. I was a very good runner, but I could have been a lot better if my nutrition was right, if my mentality was right. Because I went everything about too, because I eventually got out of the bro phase and into the I got into the whole flexible dieting thing pretty early, like right when it started, learning that, you know, there was no secret foods, secret diets or anything like that. It was about moderation and tracking your macronutrients for the day. But I was still, you know, very unhealthy with all that way, you know, weighing my food constantly. You know, very finicky, still about what I was eating. So, you know, I had a really bad eating disorder. I ended up about 130 pounds when I was about 19, 20 years old. Finally something turned the switch on to where I just wanted to get bigger and stronger. And that kind of ended my whole eating disorder thing. And I think mostly it just come down to me being more social in the gym and making friends there. And then eventually getting a lot more social in my real life. That eventually I kind of just got over everything, you know, really got my life into gear. I learned that there's a lot more to life than just, you know, diet and training. But eventually, you know, I did a few bulks and cuts here and there, you know, as I'm learning how to properly train and do nutrition. I'd say I was back up to about 200 pounds at the peak of my bulk. Not this past summer, 2014, but in 2013, cut way back down to 162, 163-ish, and looked really good, but didn't really have much muscle mass, but had a, you know, really good body. It was about probably 8 or 9% body fat, but didn't really push it more than that because of the way I felt. I didn't really, you know, I just started feeling really shitty. And then that's when I got into powerlifting. Which is my main sport as of right now. That's what I view myself as, a powerlifter more than a bodybuilder. This is going to be my first bodybuilding show. I've done 3 powerlifting meets. First one I competed at, I was 163 pounds, competed USAPL at 165, 100% raw. I performed a 340 squat, a 220 bench press, and a 450 deadlift. So it was it was my first meet. I was really cut down, really lean. So, and I didn't really know the rules of how, you know, powerlifting was supposed to be with a long ass pause. Yeah, so then that's when I started working with my coach that I'm working with right now for my bodybuilding prep, Greg Ferris. He helped me with my second prep, going into my second prep. I was already prepping for it, but he kind of helped finish me out. And then in September, again, I competed in September 2014. I competed in another Raw USAPL meet, which is New York State Championships. I did very well in my squat. I squatted 415. I weighed in at about 183 pounds, so I pretty much bottomed out at the 198 class. I really wanted to just gain weight and gain strength and go in at my full strength capacity. That's why I didn't cut down to 181s. I was really more concerned about my strength overall than how I would place. I still placed third place in the 198 class, but I wasn't concerned about placings. So yeah, 415 squat. The bench, I was again taken by surprise about how long the pause is on the USAPL bench press. So what I thought I would go in and do 280, because when I peaked leading up to that meet, I did a long pause 275 bench. So I thought 280, 285 was in the bag. Only managed 260. And I failed my first and second attempt to finally got on my third attempt. Same thing with deadlift. My deadlift was falling ever since the summer meet when I did 500. For whatever reason, it just fell apart. Something with my mechanics, fell apart. So I only managed a 451 deadlift. So that was disappointing. And again, it was a struggle because failed my first and second attempts, went for my third attempt, So after that, I went, I started basically, I'm training for powerlifting. A couple months down the road, I decided, why not do a bodybuilding prep? I've never done one. It's something else to add to my resume. I just want to experience a prep. So if I ever coach athletes in the future that want to do a bodybuilding prep, I know psychologically the way it's going to feel, the things and changes I'm going to have to make. And again, working with Greg Ferris, I actually have somebody teaching me what I'm supposed to be doing, because as somebody that had a very successful contest prep a few years ago, I have a lot to learn from Greg Ferris. So thank you very much, Greg. I will link all his stuff, social media and website in the description box below. He has MyoBrain Coaching. He does powerlifting and bodybuilding. But anyways, more on to the prep now. Let's get started with the prep. I started in November. Things were pretty easy. There was no cardio. I was doing about 3,100 calories a day, lifting 5 times a week, still kind of, and I was gaining strength, a lot of strength. So my Wilks score was going. Wilks score is basically your body weight to how much you can lift, as my body weight's dropping, I'm getting stronger. But I've been high bar squatting, so I can't really test that because I'm a low bar squatter, and I can squat a lot more low bar than I can high bar. So I've been low bar squatting. I haven't done a high bar squat since I haven't done a low bar squat since I started prep. So I don't know where that would be. But yeah, to kind of wrap this video up, definitely knowing what being in a contest prep is like now, because I'm like 6 to 7% body fat now, I would say. Really dipping past my set point. So psychologically, this is really becoming a game for me, Somebody made a good post earlier on Facebook, a Facebook page that was like Paulo Shreds or something like that. But he was talking about contest prep feels and how they're supposed to feel. You will feel hunger. You will get cravings. You will get grouchy. Your body's fighting, surviving, trying to survive. It's going to do everything in its possible way to get you to eat. And you just have to fight it. I mean, most people that diet, on a regular basis, like just diet to lose weight and get in shape, I give them all the credit in the world, but it's a whole different ball game when it comes to contest prep, because you're really fighting your body at that point. Because most people, once everything starts to set in, when you're losing weight, all those survival things start to set in, they stop dieting, and they either maintain or they gain all the weight back and then some. The studies show that most people gain their weight back, as sad as that sounds. But anyways, like the way I'm feeling now, I have my good days and bad days. But these past couple weeks, I've definitely been losing strength, been a lot more hungrier. I don't get many cravings. It's not that I'm craving any certain foods because I follow flexible dieting. It's more just the amount of food I can eat is more what I'm craving. The only thing I really crave is beer, because I love craft beer. And I've been kind of not letting myself have it. That's the only thing I've been cutting out, just because, how's alcohol going to serve me in this contest prep? So yeah, I mean, it could relieve a little stress, one beer a night, whatever, you know. But I know as the prep goes on, you know, it's just gonna get cut out eventually, anyways. You know. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later, and you'll be seeing the rest of my prep.